Welcome everybody to the seasonal diet, eating what our ancestors ate when they ate it like we were evolved to do. Sorry I haven't been posting in a few months here now, been busy with some very interesting new projects that will be coming out soon, but the first one, announcing right now, most of you have seen already, it is the new Norse calendar, and for each holiday on the calendar we are including a traditional Scandinavian recipe, and today we are going over Trøndersodd, as would be made for veterinætter. So this was the main slaughter in the Viking Age when the late season vegetables were also harvested. The feast featured plenty of meat, especially beef. It could have been grilled over the fire or boiled with the root vegetables. And below, we're talking about today, is a traditional Norwegian recipe for Trøndersodd, which is usually made with lamb, but we're using a beef-lamb mix in this version, as would have been the main sacrifice. So here are the ingredients. It is pretty simple. Prepare the broth comes first. In a large part, you are going to combine the water, beef, salt, and nutmeg in the main ingredients and bring it all to a boil and let it simmer for a few hours. I use about a kilo of beef, so 2.2 pounds, preferably bone-in, but if you don't have bone-in, that's okay. You can add some other things to make it more bone brothy. Second, we are going to make the meatballs while the beef is simmering in the pot. So mix the meatball ingredients all in a bowl that you see here, and that is 250 grams of ground beef, or ground lamb as we are using here. I'm using a little bit more, it's a pound. Just some salt, flour, nutmeg, that's the main ingredient in this dish really, so very, very important there, and a little bit of whipping cream. Then you're going to roll it into small meatballs and you're going to set those all aside. Next, you're going to prepare the vegetables, chop the carrots, chop the leek and the onion, and add a garlic clove or pinch of ginger for some extra flavor if you want. Then, after the 2 hours of beef is simmering, you remove it from the pot and you cut it into smaller pieces and you set those aside. But now it's the time to cook the meatballs and the vegetables. Throw all the vegetables in, and I like to fry the meatballs up a little bit, and these are called the sodbollet, by the way. Fry those up a little bit so they stay a little harder and they don't fall apart in the broth. But then when those are a little brown, you throw them in the pot and cook them for 10 minutes, seasoning with salt and pepper to taste if you want. And finally, finishing off with the beef. You put the beef again after you have chopped it up into the pot to warm it for the final minutes, and that's about it. You ladle it into bowls and enjoy. Potatoes are traditionally eaten with this in modern recipes, but in Viking times they didn't have potatoes back then, so it would have been with something like turnips or some other starchy thing. So one of my favorites for this time of year, we're using all in-season ingredients and cooking exactly what they would have done in the Viking Age. So stay tuned and check out our calendar if you like for more seasonal recipes.